Sorry, guys. Okay. First of all, that was a tremendous crowd, unbelievable homecoming crowd. A lot of people came back, but a lot of emotion. Our kids definitely built from that. So, thank you to everybody that came out there and put these kids in a position to be able to succeed, because it does help. I'm proud of this team. This was a big football game, and I never said that all week, but in the back of my mind, this is a big game, and I'm not one to usually say that stuff, but these kids prepared. It obviously means a lot to them every single week, but the ability to get into this position and win at home against a really good football team, and we all know that Northwestern is a very, very good football team. Defense was awesome, all day long. I thought they swarmed to the ball. I thought they communicated. They tackled well. The pursuit on the quarterback was obviously very, very good all day long. So that was good. I think offensively we did what we had to do, and we just, I'm not going to talk about one thing negative today, because this is a big win, and these kids need to enjoy it. We all need to enjoy it. So we're not going to talk about any negative. It was all good in my mind.
What made it such a big game, Gary?
Well, I just think we've losing those two games on the road is emotionally it can take its toll if you allow it to, and these kids didn't, and they don't accept losing in any way, shape, or form, and I know I sure don't, and I just it's been tough. It's been a tough 2 weeks every day to wake up and prepare for these guys, and you got to sit back and what was there when you lose games that are that close. So. It's the middle of the season. It puts us in a good position to continue fighting, and everything's still out there for us.
Why did you think the pass rush was so effective today? What did you guys work on?
You know what? I don't know. Probably a lot of things. We had a huge emphasis in the bye week, and I think putting BK in that setting more, putting Beagle in that setting more, gave us two very talented kids. There's a lot of reps going on out there, and there's a lot of packages coming on and off the field, and we're continuing to work as a defensive staff to put the best kids in the best position they could possibly be in to make a play. But that doesn't come without acceptance now from those kids of understanding the different schemes, and I appreciate them and understanding their role and where they're going to go with it. And when you're playing a spread team, it's just not base defense, and some kids have to accept some roles that maybe they're not used to doing. But they got after it. The twist games were good. I thought they blitzed with an attitude. I thought the defense had an edge all the way around, and coverage helped there too.
Nobody's done that to their offense in a long, long time. It's a spread. You've had a little trouble at Ohio State and ASU. What do you think turned it around for you versus that type of offense?
I really don't know. The kids, the players, they just, they were very, very gap sound in the run game today. I think when the ball bounced out sideways, they ran to the ball well. You get some momentum, and momentum's a vicious weapon sometimes, and it seemed to work very well for us today. And I thought we played fast. It just looked like we were fast out there today, which was great to see.
You mentioned how it could have been emotionally draining, the two losses, and how the kids were prepared. Did you have a sense coming into the game that they were ready, that they did have an edge, or could you tell in practice?
No, I wouldn't really say that I felt any different than any game or really any practices that we've gone through. The challenge, like I said, is to just make sure I do my best to have them physically as good as they can be, and that's a unique situation with this team, from the youth that we have to how many older kids we have. And but they practice well. They came out every day and they work, and we had a good night at the hotel last night, and I don't know, whatever we did, we should put it in a can and seal it and unleash it next Saturday.
Coming out of the bye, Gary, obviously you targeted several areas. How do you think initially, looking at it, you fared in those areas? I don't have the numbers yet. I think we can say, again, I'm not going to say one thing negative. I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to sit back, and we were able to convert some third downs in some positive situations. Third down defense was greatly improved, which was a big positive also. So special teams wise, the big kickoff return, it was nice to see that team get a big return. They've been so close 2 or 3 times, and Kenzel getting back there makes a big difference. I thought we fielded the punt well all day long, and we were able to put some pressure on that punt team. Obviously, we didn't get a block, but I think we made them a little bit uncomfortable back there as far as punting the football, and Kenzel did a great job of catching them all day long.
Brian?
Gary, how good was Borland for you today, especially what you had to do against some of the slot receivers?
Yep, you know, Chris, he'll never cease to amaze me, and I don't know if he's ever going to surprise me with the way he plays, but he played at a high level. He plays at a high level every single week. He'll continue to do that. You know, things go unnoticed out there that you don't see. The kid rolled his ankle early, I think it was in the first quarter, and then didn't bat an eye, and just got up, and you're not taking that kid out of that game for any situation, especially when he's in his senior year like he is. But I was also very proud of the way and his attitude as the game went on. At the beginning of the game, I didn't have to say anything to the kids. Trust me, Chris Borland said whatever he needed to say, and he said it in very uncertain terms, and those kids listened to him, and I didn't have to say much after that. They came out ready to roll.
Do you have any update on Jared? And do you know what play it was that he got hurt on?
You know, I don't know when it was. Jared looks good, and I expect him to, right now, be ready to go next week. That would be the plan.
With Jared out, you know, for the rest of the game, how do you think the offense, you know, went after he left?
It was good to see some kids step up and make some plays. You know, Duck comes back in there, and he continually makes plays for us, and he catches some big balls, and he's a young man that has to really just prepare himself the right way. And a lot of that during the week is mentally, because he can't go out there and take a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practice. He can't do it, and he gets himself ready to go. And I think Coach Beatty's done a good job of developing that. But that's been the challenge. We've talked about it all year long. A couple wide receivers step up and help Jared out. Well, today there was no Jared, so they had to help our offense out. And we're getting better in that area.
Coach, I believe the 7 sacks were from 7 different players. How important is that to, not have just one guy who's doing it?
It's awesome. I don't know if I've ever been around 7 sacks from 7 different kids, and they'll be very excited about that. And there's a lot of moving parts to that defense today, and a lot of communication. It's good to see him get some pressure, and I'm sure there's a couple others that wish they had a couple more sacks. We'll go back and look at it and see.
Coach, is Jack Russell your kicker right now?
Yes. Yes. Anything else?
When the leadership council decides to go to the red helmets, do they tell you why or give you a reason, or is that just their call?
You know, we didn't really talk about that too much this last week. I just kind of felt like it was time to, they want to break out the all red eventually. So, but I felt for homecoming, the red was about where we needed to go with the helmet and move on from there. So they like the helmet, they like the white helmet. Kids like change, right? They all do. They all want something new and fancy, and whatever it may be. We'll just keep going through. They want something that they'd wear. They wear a pink one next week and a black one the next week. If you could, if you'd let them. We got the two, and we'll mix them up.
You mentioned Russell being the kicker now. How has he performed in practice, and do you have any qualms about him going on the road?
Yeah, I do. We'll just have to practice through it, and there's definitely it's a situation, and we're going to have to handle that situation, and we're going to have to be dynamic a little bit, maybe sometimes on offense, and Jack will prepare. And the good thing is if you sit back and the positive of this whole issue we have is we're snapping the ball and we're holding the ball very good, and that's a good sign. So the next kicker that can step up there and just put them through, away we go. And that's going to help all the kids. I'm not going to sit here and point fingers at anybody. I work with those kickers every Wednesday, so I'm as responsible as anybody for that ball not going in.
Coach, how is McAvoy doing back there, and what's the best thing that you could say about him?
Best thing I can say about him, he is a serious presence in the middle of the field. He's 6'5", he's 200 and however many pounds, and he is fast. And I'm really proud of that kid. You want to talk about just finding a way to get himself on the field. And if you'd have told me or you'd told Tanner a year ago right now that you'd be playing Northwestern at Camp Randall, he might have said, yeah, that could happen. But to say he's going to be starting free safety, I don't know, not so fast. So he has done a great job. He's a very smart young man. He's very intelligent. He is he can pre-snap. You look at him and say, "Whoa, that's a good-looking free safety in the middle of the field." And he's grown and developed and shows some signs today again of making progress.
Coach, we haven't even mentioned the running game yet. Is that just because this is kind of what you expect? 286 yards, Melvin with another 70-yard touchdown. I mean, this is status quo at this point.
Nope, it should definitely be mentioned without question, and they should all be mentioned. The offensive line, to the tight ends, to the fullbacks, to the wide receivers, to the quarterback checking it, and those tailbacks running the football. Those young men are very talented. We're all very lucky to have them in this program, and they continue to work. But they work so well as a unit in the run game, and it does take all of them. It's great to have unbelievably gifted kids running the ball, and that can go the distance at any moment. But you got to take a long, hard look when it's week in and week out, that people are ganging up on you in there, and those offensive line, and Joel was able to make those checks. It's impressive, and again, some of the things go unseen sometimes.
Gary, every defense gives you different things and the game plan's different. Were the checkdowns that he threw to the backs more a part of the game plan going in, or had you guys just decided we need to have that outlet more than we've had it in previous weeks?
You know, I couldn't really, from a strategic standpoint, know how they went about that from an offensive standpoint of game planning, but I do know this, we were pass blocking better. We really were, and probably the back looked and felt pretty comfortable that he could get out and get into a check down position rather than chipping on the inside or the outside.
Coach, I just got to ask on a lighter note, did you know what Bo Ryan was going to do with the jump around?
No, I did. No,
and how would you
no.
rate it versus your first?
I didn't even see him. Did he jump? He jumped around out there? I didn't see it. I'm sure he's probably a better athlete than I am, so I didn't see it. So was his basketball kids jumping around with him? Okay, well, maybe I have to have a jump around competition someday. We'll see.
Gary, did you get an update on Darius Hillary's injury, and is Jakari pushing for that third corner spot now?
Darius had a big smile on his face, and I think he's going to be in a good spot. Probably be a little bit stiff tomorrow, but he felt like he could have come back if he would have had to have. So that was good to see. And Jakari is making strides, and you're talking two true freshmen out there playing corner in the Big Ten, in the biggest situations they've ever been in their lives as far as football goes, and I'm feeling better and better, and I know the defensive staff is feeling better and better about just putting him on the field. Ultimately, we would love to have a package where we can get four corners on the field, and possibly put Dez back there or whoever it's going to be, and we call it a dime package, and go four corners and a safety, and put Michael or somebody else in the box, and have Chris at a backer spot. And we went to that a little bit in the second half today for the first time, so yeah, we're definitely feeling real comfortable.
Coach, I apologize if you don't want any negative thoughts, but Stavi's interception and overall play today, what do you think?
Yep, again, no negative thoughts coming out of me today. So I thought Joel has continued to progress. He threw that deep ball, swirling wind out there a little bit, and he dropped that deep ball right on Abby for a tremendous play. And we're going to continue to progress. The throw game is I believe it's improving. We're catching the ball better. I think Joel you always have a few throws that you'd like to take back, and we're gonna keep working on it. It's important to him. It's important to Coach Ludd and the offense. But I like the way when something doesn't go their way, it hurts, but they keep moving, and that's a sign of a good offense and a quarterback.
You back?
Gary, after the 2 weeks now, do you feel like the mojo is back after today?
For me, yeah, I got juice right now. I'm pretty fired up on the whole deal. The kids are, I'm sure you get a win. A win puts people in really good spots, and that's ultimately what you do this for, is to win football games and take care of young men. And they'll feel good. They'll be happy tonight and excited. It was a long stretch after the Ohio State game.
Anything else for Coach?
Thanks, guys.